The marathon social media buzz reminds me of this girl I knew in high school. You know the saying, grippy socks and all. Look, for those of us who weren't born yesterday and aren't sucked into identity politics so bad that we have to shoehorn them into everything, we've seen this exact movie before. This is just the worst, most expensive version we've seen in games yet. Hollywood, Washington, D.C., and video games have finally completed their unholy merger. Let's be brutally honest, Marathon on paper, no matter how you feel about it, is not doing well. 3 weeks after launch, and the main problem isn't the game itself. It's trying to separate genuine parasocial worship from full-blown psychosis or straight-up paid bots. The copes are already flooding in, and they're getting pathetic. I love it. It's great. It's just hate for no reason. Yeah. People loved Obama and voted him in twice too. Same energy. It's right-wing grifters. Is the game even political? I thought it was an extraction shooter, not a TED Talk. It's review bombed. Yet you'll cherry-pick Steam reviews to dunk on Metacritic when it suits you, then ignore the Steam charts when they don't. Classic. It's critically acclaimed. Let's start right here because this one is the funnest. Critic reviews are based almost entirely on how well the companies play ball with the media. That's why monster hits like Crimson Desert and Black Myth Wukong get buried, while a flaming dumpster like Concord somehow scored higher. The press has zero pull over those devs, just like they have zero pull over actual gamers. Video game critics are just running a glorified book tour for the industry. They're as outdated as the pharaohs of Egypt, while the rest of us are watching real gameplay videos and streams. The review bomb screaming, we heard the exact same script with the last Star Wars show right before it got canceled. We heard about it on every movie that cratered at the box office. Using Steam reviews, the one platform the game actually has an audience, as your shield, is pure grade A cope. What about consoles? The game is bleeding out there, but I've yet to see a single Bungie defender even mention console reviews. Just crickets. It's just hate. Huh. Yeah, you could say that. Oh, there is some hate, buddy, because Bungie has spent years turning more people against them than for them. Monetization whiplash, splash screens that ram identity politics down your throat, yanking paid content, then flipping the whole thing free to play and completely devaluing the original $60 buy-in for day one players. It's not hate, it's math. And don't even get me started on the Bungie Defense Force. Bungie might be the single worst company to criticize on social media. You've got a 50-50 shot of getting dogpiled by furry avatars rocking 10,000 flags in their bios, telling you to walk into traffic, or worse, just for complaining about a patch note. They've built the exact same cult Hollywood did, an audience that feels like they own the company, at least with their wallet. They feed the echo chamber, attack anyone who steps out of line, and defends their fans like their blood relatives. They quietly shrank the real fan base until only the most loyal, most brainwashed remained. The brainwashing is honestly pretty impressive. If only they'd figure out how to monetize it without torching the general audience. Every single brand that ditched its old fan base for a shiny new one using identity politics has crashed and burned. Bud Light, Star Wars, Marvel, Jaguar, Target, Gillette, Harley Davidson, and now you can add Sony and Bungie to the list. The pattern is so obvious, it's embarrassing. Marathon was doomed from the jump. The original beta had already flopped, and it was written and designed by people way more dialed into politics outside that 80-20 rule than into what gamers actually want. Bungie torched its loyal general audience years ago. Let's talk cold, hard numbers, because the data doesn't lie. Launch day, Steam peaked at only 88,000 concurrent players. The free server slam beta hit 143,000. 3 weeks later, it's sitting at 28 to 40,000 and still sliding. Total sales across all platforms, about 1.2 million copies. Now that's roughly 55 million at $40 a pop. 70% of that is Steam. PS5 a pathetic 19%. Xbox only 11%. For a first-party Sony title, that's not a splash. That's a puddle. Daily active users peaked at 478,000 opening weekend and have already dropped to around 345,000. Retention is bleeding. Add in the fact Marathon is an extraction shooter. That's a tiny niche that before Arc Raiders showed up, made only about 2% of the entire shooter market. 2%, kind of like Bungie's demographics.
Gay!
The looter shooter genre where Destiny 2 used to live, 10 to 15%. Bungie, high on its own ego and a cult of dev-worshipping fans, bit off way more than it could chew. Then it tried to force a niche genre on a mass audience that didn't ask for it. Meanwhile, Arc Raiders is out there eating their lunch in player count. Now, any sane person could see this coming a mile away. This is exactly what toxic positivity and echo chamber management gets you. Bungie is still headquartered in that shithole of Seattle, completely disconnected from the broader game demographic, and it shows in every decision. Now, Destiny 2 itself has lost 97% of its players since the final shape, and 91% since the Edge of Fate expansion. The loyalists who stayed are the same ones defending Marathon like it's their newborn child. The rest of us, we're out. Bottom line, the industry keeps learning this lesson the hard way. You cannot insult and alienate the broad 80-20 audience, shove politics and vibes over fun, and then act shocked when the numbers don't lie. Marathon isn't dead on arrival. The gunplay is still crisp Bungie magic, but it's struggling exactly where every sane observer predicted. The merger of Hollywood, DC, and games is complete, and the body count is starting to pile up. This isn't hate. This is the bill coming due. So if you're sick of watching these clowns turn your favorite hobby into a propaganda delivery system, it's time to do something about it. Right now. Smash that like button if this rant hit home. Drop your own biggest Bungie betrayals or Marathon cope in the comments. Let's flood the echo chamber with actual gamer voices. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss another wake-up call like this, and share the video with every friend who's still buying the hype. Vote with your wallet. Stop pre-ordering, stop funding the cult, and start supporting devs who actually make games for gamers instead of book tours for critics. This is the only way we kill the Hollywood Washington virus, by starving it out. The bill is due. And let's Tark. What's a Tark?